Hello, and welcome to 5-Minute Math. Today we are looking at the fourth grade concept of measurement problems. This is Readiness Practice 4.8c, the Proficient version. If you are interested in exploring the intermediate or advanced versions of 4.8c, or the Readiness Practice resources aligned with any other standard, you can find those by using the link in the video description. So we have John here. He's paid for lunch. It looks like he paid for $10 with a $10 bill. So let's draw this with a strip diagram to kind of show what we need to do here. So here's my $10 bill. And then he's got this change. And the question is, how much is his lunch? And so his change is this right here, the 2 quarters, 4 dimes, 2 nickels, 3 pennies. All right, so let's visualize that. So I'm going to put 2 quarters. It's 25, 25. That's 50. I'm going to go and put it as 0.50 because these are decimals and I'm going to need to add them up. All right, so let's do 4 dimes. Okay, so dime, 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 and dime. That's 4 tens, so that's going to be 40. We've got 2 nickels. Let's make that 2 fives. That's 10. And then 3 pennies, and those are just going to be ones. Penny, penny, penny. 1, 1, 1. Let's make that 0.03, not 0.3. That'd be 30 cents. Okay, so it looks like he's got 3, 4, 5 is 9, add 1 is 10. All right, so it cost an unknown amount, but we do know our change here, $1.03. So if he started with 10, and then he got $1.03 in change, we can subtract $1.03 from $10 to figure out his actual cost. So we need to subtract. Now it gets a little bit tricky because when I've got 10, I've got $1.03, I need to set it up like this. Because 10 is really $10.00. We need to line up the decimals. And if you don't see a decimal like there wasn't originally a decimal after 10, you can always put it after the ones place. So we need to do this, and then we're going to need to do a whole bunch of regrouping because I can't take 3 from 0. And the first number I have is in the $10 place. So I'm going to take a $10 bill, leaving 0 $10, and I'm going to get 10 ones. I'm going to take a 1, leaving 9. I'm going to reimagine that 1 is 10 dimes. I'm going to take a dime, leaving 9, and reimagine that dime as 10 pennies. Now, I can take my 3 pennies from 7 pennies, from 10 pennies to get 7 pennies. I've got 9 dimes, and then $1 from $9 is $8. So $8.97. And if you wanted to add the 103 back in just to verify, it does add up to $10. So we can say his lunch cost, and we'll just put dollars and cents here, $8.97. All right, so we've got a movie here. Starts at 6:32, ends at 8:51. How long is the movie? So what I like to do here is I like to use a number line. There's a few different ways to add this. It's difficult to add and subtract movie time. Sometimes you can, but if it goes across an hour, things get weird. So I find it best to use a number line like this. So I'm going to start with 6:32. What I want to do is I want to add chunks, big chunks. So 1 hour gets me to 7:32, and I'm just going to add up until I get to 8:51. I'm going to add another hour, as long as I'm not going over. That's going to get me to 8:32. Okay, so that's pretty close. So now my next big chunk is going to be 10 minutes. Right, so 10 minutes is going to get me 8:42. If I added another 10 minutes, that would give me 8:52. So it's 1 less than that. So you can do 9 individual hops of 1, or you can use your number sense to say, you know what, I need 9 more minutes. And that's going to get me my 8:51. And then all we need to do is add this up. So I've got 1 hour, 2 hours, and then 19 minutes. So we can say the movie was, and we'll put it like this, 2H19M. That's one way to show 2 hours, 19 minutes. For our third problem, we've got a gallon of lemonade. We're pouring out a certain amount and then pouring in or adding a certain amount. Okay, so let's take a look at our gallon. So I'm going to envision our gallon as like this big, just square, because what I want to do is I'm going to break it up into smaller pieces, okay? So 1 gallon, and this is on our mathematics chart if we need this for the STAR test, equals 4 quarts. That quart means fourth, right? So 4 quarters make $1, 4 quarts make a gallon. So you can keep those two in mind. Okay, so this is 1 gallon. And then these are going to be my quarts. So I'm just going to put them in orange. Quart, 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 and quart. All right, so if I pour out 2 quarts, then these two are gone. So I've poured out half a gallon. There's 2 quarts left. But then I need to add 3 pints. Okay, so what do we know about pints? All right, well, we go from gallons to quarts. We got 1 quarts, and the abbreviation there is QT, equals 2 pints. 1 pint equals 2 cups. We don't need to get out to cups yet. So 1 quart, each of these quarts is 2 gallons. Or each of these quarts is 2 pints, and I'm adding 3 pints. So if I were to, let's just do it like a diagonal like this. Okay, so this is a pint, and this is a pint, and then this is a pint, and this is a pint. So inside each quart is 2 pints, okay? And what we see here is I'm adding 3 pints. So I'm going to kind of show crosshatches like this. So here's 1 pint, here's 2 pints. So I've added that whole quart back in, and then here's that 3 pints. So I'm almost all the way back into what I had. If I had added 1 more pint, I'd be back to 1 full gallon. I'm 1 pint short of a gallon. So there's a few different ways we can show that, right? We can say the pitcher has, and we can say, let me just show you a few different ways to answer it. 1 pint short of a gallon. That's actually an interesting way and a correct way to represent this. If we can think um, of these, all of these here as pints, right? This is a pint, and this is a pint. This is a pint. This is a pint. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pints in a gallon. So we can also say it has 7 pints because that's kind of the smallest unit of measure that we're using here is pints. So we can also say it has 7 pints. Or we could say how many quarts and how many pints. So I got 1, 2, 3 full quarts, 3 quarts, and then I've got that 1 pint that I have. 1 pint, and you can have it like this. So all of these are different ways that you could represent the correct answer. You got the visual there in case you need it. So if you're interested in exploring the 4.8C Readiness Practice Resource for the intermediate or advanced versions, or the Readiness Practice Resource aligned with any other standard, you can find those by using the link in the video description.